WMNH Rip the Knob Off.
You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3.
What a voice. That is Julia Greenberg. The track is called Leaves from the album Leaves. And we've got, let's see, let me bring that up here. We've got Julia with us via phone on the studio line. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Wonderful. And I'm relieved that we get to speak with you this morning because, so I'll start off by, I don't mind giving listeners a peek behind the curtain. So we had a problem with WhatsApp. All my interviews this morning on the show we're going to be via WhatsApp. And WhatsApp has restricted my account. They are accusing me of engaging in spam activity, and I don't know why. But so thank you for being flexible. So I'm glad that we get to talk to you. And I love the album Leaves, and that song. I can relate to that. I feel every fall, here in New Hampshire where we are, we're known for our incredible foliage, and it is pretty and everything. But I don't like it when the leaves. I want to hang on to the leaves. I don't like it when the leaves start to turn, because I don't like fall. I don't like winter. I love spring and I love summer. But I can relate to that, and more of that sort of melancholy vibe too. About you can't hold on to the year and all of that. With the passage of time. I very much relate to that song, almost more than I'd like to. in a way, but it's great. The whole album is great, but is my interpretation of that song and what it means? Am I on the right track, or is there's something else that I'm missing?
You are definitely on the right track, and I spend my summers in the Catskill Mountains, so
yeah,
have the same experience. Probably not as magnificent as New Hampshire. But I guess if you were missing anything at all, is that the song is a little bit of an inside joke to myself, in that I just made myself laugh one beautiful summer day listening to September Song, which is the brilliant song by Kurt Weill about the end. It's about death and longing, but using September as the metaphor.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I the person who listens to this kind of thing in the height of rejuvenation in summer? So the line about there's nothing dumber than a girl who sings September Song in summer is a little, poke at myself for having a slant towards melancholy and longing during the days that should be spent, at the lake with your friends and loved ones.
Right, absolutely. No, that makes sense. And is that kind of so? I'm curious. I mean, is that kind of the theme of the album? Is there a theme to the album, or do you try to tell a different story with each song? I mean, what's your approach to that? Because there's certainly a cohesive sound to the album. It sounds like a collection of songs that belongs together. That's why I'm wondering if there's some sort of overarching theme to it.
Yeah, I mean, I can explicate a theme after having written the songs and made the album, but they are a group of songs that I wrote over a number of years. And I think one of the reasons that they hold together so well is my co-producer, Bob Perry, saw my band and I play these songs live, and he was like, we need to capture this live in the studio. So the entire EP is recorded live. There's no overdubs except for some percussion, and it really captures the ways in which the band and I developed these songs over a number of years. And they're the years in my 40s and early 50s where you start thinking about things like time passing in a different way. So there's definitely a melancholy / live your life and laugh about it theme to the record. And it's called Born Sentimental, which again, I hope my humor comes through in these songs, but it's also just, that song is very much like I've always, from the minute I was a sentient being, I was just sort of thinking about the past and had really strong feelings, melancholy feelings about time passing. So that is definitely the theme.
Maybe that's why I relate to it as much as I do, because and why it connects with me, because I'm someone who, and it doesn't have so much to do with age in my case, only because I've lived really probably since I was a teenager. I've always lived in a perpetual state of existential dread. So
maybe it's not a better way of saying it.
that may be why these songs connect with me the way that they do. But it's cool that you went in and recorded these live, and every once in a while I'll talk to an artist who approaches it that way. And I've always wondered, and I've been thinking, actually, this is something I've been thinking about since I was a teenager. Why don't more artists do that? I mean, obviously, it's great to be able to do, all kinds of overdubs. And if you're, if you want to be very particular, I mean, obviously, most successful producers, they want to go track by track. But there is something so cool about, capturing something live, that sort of spark that happens live that in some cases you can really kind of miss out on if you don't do it that way. And I've always wondered why more artists don't do it that way. Was this your first time recording in that way live?
Oh, definitely. If you go back on your favorite streaming platform, hopefully one of the less egregious ones, and look at my earlier records, one's called Greenland, one's called Past Your Eyes. Very, rock studio albums with, mellotrons and every kind of amazing instrument. So this was not the plan. It was really my co-producer, Bob, who was like, we should capture the sound. I was like, yeah, he was wanting to try to get the sound in the studio because he hadn't recorded that way. And so I was like, sure, let's try. And then after 6 hours, we had 7 songs, and I was like, these are great, And then there was a period of mixing and really having to come face to face with the vulnerability that's captured. Because now I have some distance and I love it, but I can hear every catch in my voice. I can hear my guitar pick clicking against my guitar.
Yep.
The bass, the upright bass strings rattling. And I was like, oh, can we do that? Like, can we have that? Is there a way to erase that? And he's like, nope. So
it's there.
Yeah, but I think in the end, if you're listening to the totality of the thing, it creates, it is real.
Right, exactly. Do you think you'll do it again? And like for the next album, do you think you'll approach it the same way now that you've done this?
Probably not.
No.
I think I'll be less afraid of the natural tones that come through, but you always want to try something different.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I did my quiet introspective album now. Like, I want drums again.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm in the middle of writing my next album, so whatever emerges.
Oh, excellent. I'll have to go back and listen to the earlier stuff. I listened to this entire album, but I'm curious now to go back and hear some of your earlier material.
Yeah, go for it.
So these songs, so you mentioned too, so you'd been playing these live with your band. That's interesting to me because a lot of artists, they don't want to play anything live until they have it recorded. You know what I mean? But it sounds like you kind of approached it the opposite way. I mean, was it always your intention to eventually record these? Because you mentioned your producer or co-producer, he heard you playing them live, and then he said, well, we've got to record these. But were you going to eventually record these anyway, or were these only meant to be live songs originally that you may or may not record, but maybe you didn't have a particular plan?
Right. It's a very particular set of circumstances, which, yes, I mean, I really, these songs are of a piece and special to me, so I had it in my mind that I wanted to record them, but I was writing them over a period where I also made my first documentary film, and anyone out there who's ever made a documentary film knows there's no time for anything else. So I was really focused on this film about the great songwriter Dory Previn, who you should play on your show if you've never heard of her. And so there wasn't a plan, absolutely wasn't a plan, and everything that I was doing at film festivals and working on the film was about Dory Previn's music, and I interpret her music. So this was just like whenever I could find, a little gig here or there, I would be like, do you guys want to play? So it came out of that. It wasn't like, that I had been working toward releasing an album, but it just came together because of that desire of Bob's to record live. And I had just moved to New Jersey, and there's an amazingly cool record label there called Magic Door Recordings. And we all sort of talked one day, and we're like, oh, we can record this live and put it out on this label. And that's how it happened.
Okay. I am curious to know more about the documentary. I will confess, I don't know anything about Dory Previn, but I looked it up. So the documentary is called Dory Previn On My Way to Where. And so you're an archivist for Dory Previn's estate. Is that correct?
I mean, informally.
Okay.
I became an archivist for her estate because I discovered her music, was gobsmacked that more people didn't know about it, got to performing it and meeting her and her husband. And when you all watch the documentary on pbs.org, where it is currently streaming, you will see that she had an amazing career. She's written songs that you undoubtedly know, but she was kind of sublimated under the very famous story of her husband, Andre Previn, who very famously left Dory for Mia Farrow.
Yep.
So there's a juicy Hollywood gossip piece of the film, too.
Yeah.
But yes, because I became close with her and I knew that there were these precious documents, lead sheets, music, recordings in her office in a beautiful farmhouse in the Berkshires, I would just occasionally go there and help organize it. And as I would just write to my friends, you wouldn't believe there's a letter from Fred Astaire here. There's a letter from Jack Lemmon. I found these recordings. And my friend Diana Dilworth, who I wound up co-directing the film with, said, this sounds like a documentary. And I said, well, I don't make documentaries. And she's like, you do now. Let's go.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the story of the film.
How long did it take?
It actually didn't. It took 3 years.
3 years.
Which is not so long for a documentary, but I didn't have the context. I knew her story so well and really knew how I wanted to tell it.
Yeah.
And then it just turned out that there was just unbelievable archival footage beyond what was in her archives. She actually, strangely, did a lot of television. She was really famous for a moment. And for the listeners out there, she wrote for Hollywood films and then became a singer-songwriter. And she wrote the lyrics to the theme from Valley of the Dolls, the great Dionne Warwick track.
Oh, wow.
And then she made 7 albums in the 7 years that are some of the greatest 70s confessional singer-songwriter stuff that I happened upon totally randomly and then strangely changed my life. Yeah.
I mean, so that's a commitment, but like you said, I mean, documentaries take a long time to make. Was there, during the course of that 3 years, was there ever a point where you felt like, I don't know if I can finish this, or this is a lot more to take on than I ever thought? Because I tend to think of, and this might be a failing on my part, but I tend to think about things creatively in terms of how long is this going to take? And obviously, when you record an album, it takes a while to record an album, but not too long, right? But or if you're just releasing singles, it's even quicker. Or in my case, I do a radio show, which is instant gratification. I come in and do the show live, which suits my personality. But that's a commitment, making a documentary. Was there ever a point where you thought, wow, I'm really I don't know if I can finish this?
Yeah. Actually, no. First of all, we started in the timeless COVID period, so time didn't really have much texture or many parameters.
Right.
So there's that. But no, it was like blessed by Dory from wherever she was blessing us. So it was a magical confluence of we got incredible Diana Dilworth, my co-director, who's made some great films. She made a film about the Mellotron, which is amazing. Amy Hobby, the producer, made the Academy Award nominated Nina Simone documentary. People knew that we had a story and that that we had the tools and the assets to tell it, which I don't think a lot of people know when they start a documentary. It went fast and it premiered at South by Southwest. And the only time I thought it would never, we were in film festivals all over the world, but the only time I felt stymied was we tell the story through her music because she told her life through her songs, and all of her music is on Universal Music Group label. Mm-hmm. So the process of figuring out how to legally show a film with Universal Music assets was the biggest challenge, which we haven't fully overcome. We are so honored and delighted that it's on PBS, where they have a license agreement with Universal, so we can absolutely can show it, but there isn't a and it's PBS. Like, everybody should be supporting publicly funded arts these days.
Right.
So it was a great home, but there was a while where I was like, we can't afford the songs, so we're not going to be able to put it out beyond film festival. So that was the big hurdle, which we were able to cross with the help of PBS. Okay.
Excellent. Is she still alive, Dory Previn?
She's not. She died in 2012.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's I'm curious. So that's on. So people can watch that on the on PBS.org.
Yeah, on the app. Like, if you have it on your Roku TV or whatever, or you can watch it on your. You can just if you just search up Dory Previn and PBS, you'll find it.
Okay. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, outside of music, so obviously you're a filmmaker, and you've done. Is this? You're also. It says here you're a health justice advocate.
Yeah.
I want to know about that.
I try and present my whole self to the world these days.
I want to know more about this because so is my partner Jenny. So I'm really curious about this.
Yes, in fact, when you both reached out, I was just like, what is this radio station and who are these people? And I think there's some confluence of passions there. Yeah, I mean, I am a New York City girl who grew up during the AIDS crisis and saw what it means when governments neglect people's health needs because of their identities or the color of their skin. And so very early started volunteering, working with people living with HIV at the time. And then as I was pursuing music, the jobs that I got tended to be around access to health care, human rights for people living with HIV at the time, but it's become broader. Mm-hmm. So I have had a career where I've been in and out of institutions and consulting very specifically on social justice and health. Like right now, my work is very focused on the fact that our healthcare system in the U.S. is broken, and one of the reasons that it's broken is that the financial sector sees the healthcare sector as a place from which it can extract a ton of wealth, because so much of our taxpayer money goes into Medicaid and Medicare, and so there's lots of private equity, venture capital, support, investments in healthcare, which tend to then degrade the system so that they could extract as much profit out of the system as they possibly can. So my work now is really trying to rein that in and help build the case for a universal healthcare system in this country.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I commend you for that. I'm glad you're,
Thank you.
Glad you're, yeah, absolutely, 100%. No, that's excellent. I mean, does that, the things that you do that obviously you're, that's something that you're passionate about, and rightly so. Does that in any way sort of inform your music, do you think, or do you kind of compartmentalize that, or how does that work?
It's a question that I've been thinking a lot about lately, because it seems like this is the moment where the idea of the protest song and the idea that music actually has been instrumental to social justice movements is very much on my mind, given the state of our country. It has not informed. There's been some compartmentalization, but if I go through my albums and look at the songs, there's absolutely they're there, but they're not overt.
Okay.
My experiences and my political positions and my feelings about the healthcare system. But like, I have a song called Connarton City on my last album, which is very much about being in Kenya and just seeing the broken health system and the ways in which it was affecting people's lives. So it comes out, but it's not. I don't start with it.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think a lot of artists approach it that way. There's messaging that's not overt, But it's there if you care to look for it or you notice it. You went to, by the way, so you went to Kenya?
Yeah, so I did a lot of global health work in the earlier part of my career, so I traveled pretty extensively. Yeah.
Good for you. Wow.
Thank you. I'm very lucky.
So Kenya's healthcare system is pretty broken?
I mean, in some ways it's not. It's just, ours is just as broken. And what I was looking at, there's a lot of poverty there.
Yeah.
And a lot of the poverty and a lot of the ideas about the health system have actually been exported from the U.S. So I was really looking at sort of how this sort of ideology about how markets and capitalism automatically lead to the best possible healthcare systems, how that's been exported around the world. So in a lot of countries around the world, they treat healthcare as a public good, and the government funds it, and everybody gets it. And the U.S. is actually doing a lot to try and subvert that. So I was looking at that issue in Kenya.
Right.
But no, I mean, we are the richest country in the world, and we have the worst outcomes, right? For all developed countries. So I would never, ever say that Kenya's health system is worse than ours.
Gotcha. Understood. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But by the way, for listeners who are thinking, Matt, you really wandered into the weeds here. I know, but these are important things. I won't wander any further into the weeds, but I'm
always happy to talk about it.
Absolutely. No, I'm really glad that you're doing that work. That's awesome. I am curious, getting back to the EP, I'm curious about your influences. Yeah. You remind me, your voice reminds me of someone, but I can't put my finger on who. But maybe if you talk to us about some of your influences, I'll make the connection in my mind. But there's someone that I feel that you're evocative of, and I can't quite get there. But who are some of your influences?
Oh, that's so frustrating. I'm dying to know. Well, my influences, and I also think this EP captures this. I have a major sort of rock, alt, country, Americana side of myself, and then very much American standards, early musical theater side of myself. A lot of these songs were about bringing those sides together. And I'm happy to see that a lot of the critical response to the record really sees that. But who are my influences? Well, my deepest core love is Lucinda Williams. And Dory Previn, who I've talked about. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think I sound like, and I did love her, and she's not really making music that I know of these days, that I sound like, Sam Phillips, not the Sam Phillips of Sun Records, but the Sam Phillips of the 90s. Okay. I don't know if that's it. I'm a huge, Elvis Costello, Clash, Billy Bragg fan. I'm going to see Billy Bragg tomorrow night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, those are, I would say sort of early influences, like Amy Mann, Elvis Costello, for their literary prowess. What else? There's a lot of I went and saw S.G. Goodman last night at Levon Helm's barn. There's so many amazing young writers out there, so I'm happily being influenced by people like her, Lael Neal, Alinda Segura from Hooray for the Riff Raff. They're all kind of swirling around.
Yeah, no doubt.
Did that capture? Did you figure out who it was?
No. It'll come to me.
You'll have to tell me.
It'll come to me later, and I'll email you. Yeah, it'll just suddenly occur to me when I'm not thinking about it, which is what usually happens. It's interesting you mentioned Lucinda Williams. I saw Lucinda Williams at a show. Oh wow, this would have been more than 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, a long time. She was playing in Concord, New Hampshire, at a place called the Capitol Theater, and she it was for the she opened with Car Wheels on a Gravel Road. That was the song she opened with, and she did something I'd never seen anyone do before. She played it twice. She opened with it. She played it.
I'm literally getting the chills.
Yeah, she played it, and then she said there was something that wasn't right about the sound. I don't know if her monitor, I don't remember if it was her monitor wasn't working or something, but she said, so she tells the crowd, she says, I'm not happy with the way that sounded. Something was wrong. The mix wasn't right or something. So we're going to play it again. And she played it again. And I'd never seen anyone do that before. Just kind of a do-over, but I thought it was cool. I mean, to me, I thought it sounded great the first time, but she wasn't happy with it. Funny. So she said, we're going to play it again. And she played it again. Nobody minded. It sounded great. So it was a great song.
It's a perfect song, so why not hear it?
Absolutely. 100%. So what's now? We're before we run out of time too. So what's the current live situation like? Are you playing a lot of shows currently with your band, or do you do any solo acoustic?
Yeah, I do solo acoustic. We are right now trying to line up some dates. There was like a pause for, all the reasons or personal reasons of band members. We did a record release at this great new music and art space in Hoboken, New Jersey, playing in the Berkshires later in the summer, and we're going to see about a tour. This is the first record where I feel like I can potentially break into like the folk circuit, because my other stuff was much more rock. So I'm trying to explore the bookers and the venues in that vein. Yeah. Because it's not because I can play a solo acoustic, which sometimes you need to do because playing music is expensive in a world that doesn't support it. Mm-hmm. So stuff will be coming up. Outstanding.
Where's the best place, Julia? Where's the best place for people to go to keep up with everything that Julia Greenberg is doing? And feel free to mention more than one place, because you've got the music, but you've got other things that you're doing too, and you've got the documentary and all of it. So mention more than one location if you want to, but I just want to make sure our listeners know where to find you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I would say the most consistently active is my Instagram page. And you'll find it just Julia Greenberg Music. The Dory documentary has doryprevendoc.com, a website with all the news, and you can watch it on pbs.org. And my Bandcamp page is also another place where I'll be putting up, new music. This is in a very active writing phase for me, and not necessarily wed to the idea that I always have to put out a album and before the songs appear. So I would say those three.
Right. Excellent. And I'm glad you're on Bandcamp too, because I encourage everyone. Bandcamp, of course, as you know, very artist friendly, and also too, if you get music on Bandcamp, you get a much higher quality file than say if you're just streaming on YouTube or something. So I'm a big fan of Bandcamp. I think every artist should be on it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm always surprised when I encounter an artist who's not on Bandcamp. It's like, why not? What are you doing? Right. And
you'll find me on the Magic Door. My album is on the Magic Door recording platform on Bandcamp, so you can also check out a bunch of really cool artists that they put out. Oh,
fantastic!
Like Elk City and also Megan Riley. There's a lot of great people on the label.
Oh, outstanding. So, Julia, to close out our conversation, I'm going to play another track after we let you go from the album, but not to put you on the spot, but I'm going to let you pick this one. We opened with Leaves. What should we close with?
Maybe close with Born Sentimental, as it's the title track, and
Born Sentimental. Okay, wonderful. Oh, which I just realized, I think I misspoke earlier, too. I think I referred to the, at the beginning of our conversation, I think I inadvertently referred to the album as Leaves, but the album is called Born Sentimental. The track that we played was Leaves. I always catalog my mistakes in the back of my mind so I can correct them 10 minutes or 15 minutes later.
You did a great job.
Thank you. So we're going to hit that track in a second, but Julia, we will let you go. Thank you for joining us. And again, thank you for being flexible about, because WhatsApp didn't work out. So we got you on the phone line. So we appreciate that. And we'll definitely do this again in the future, as certainly as you're releasing new music. Sounds like you got good stuff coming up. So we'd love to have you back sooner rather than later. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt. I was delighted to be able to talk.
Wonderful. Thanks, Julia. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That is Julia Greenberg. And, of course, the album is called Born Sentimental. Earlier, we played Leaves, one of the tracks from it. Now we're going to play the title track from the album, Born Sentimental. Let's give this a spin. And if you are listening live on Saturday, stick around. We've got plenty more to come. Although a little bit of an adventure today, because I'm not sure. We have two guests coming up in the third hour. They were both supposed to be with us via WhatsApp, but WhatsApp has suspended my account, so I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Julia was very gracious and flexible with us. Let's see how the other guests react to my emails, my frantic emails saying I cannot use WhatsApp to interview you. But all right, here's this track. This is Born Sentimental from Julia Greenberg. What a beautiful voice. That is Julia Greenberg, Born Sentimental, the title track from the album Born Sentimental. And thank you again to Julia for joining us today. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. Of course, you can stream the show from anywhere. Go to mattconnarton.com/live. Click the link there, or you can go to our new site, mattconnartonunleashed.com. You can find the archive of the show there and some links and some articles. We're still kind of building that site out. It is relatively new, so there's going to be a lot of cool new stuff on there as well. Quick programming note, too, that I forgot to mention at the top of the show. I had it in mind that I was going to share this, and then it just slipped. But we were having some trouble anyway with if you're just joining us, you don't know the little misadventure that we've had this morning with WhatsApp. Actually, I'll tell you this first. So when we have guests on the show, we have them either call the studio line, which is what Julia did, or we have them join us via Microsoft Teams, or we use WhatsApp. And it just so happens today we had four different guests booked. We had CJ Wildheart in the first hour, Julia Greenberg in the second hour. In the third hour, we have two guests booked. We've got the band Despyre in the first half of the third hour, and in the second half of the third hour, we have the Rift. So, it just so happens that today, all four guests, they all chose WhatsApp, which is unusual. Everybody chose WhatsApp to use as their platform of choice because we do give them multiple options on how they're going to connect with the show for the interview. And it just so happens on the day that all four guests all chose WhatsApp, WhatsApp has restricted my account. I cannot call our guests using WhatsApp. It says suspicious activity, something about spam, and my account is suspended for the next 5 hours. So luckily, CJ Wildheart, I emailed him. I said, hey, can I send you a Teams link, Microsoft Teams? Can we do that? And that worked out great. Actually worked out fine. And then Julia, I emailed her. I said, hey, can we use Teams or the studio line? So she called the studio line. So that worked out. I don't know what's going to happen in the third hour. I have not heard back yet from either the Rift or Despyre. So hopefully, but what are the odds, right? I have a problem with WhatsApp on a day when all four guests, they all chose WhatsApp as their platform of choice to connect with the show. But live radio is an adventure. And that's part of what makes it exciting. You know, it's a high wire act. There's always something that can and often will go wrong, but that's okay. We soldier on. I mean, and at the end of the day, I mean, it is just a radio show, right? It's not life and death. There's nothing worth getting upset over, and technology will fail us at times. But yeah, I don't know. I've never had that happen before with WhatsApp, but I guess something suspicious about my account. I don't know if it's because I'm trying to use it. You know, I have it on my phone, but we also have it installed here on the computer. I don't know if I just have WhatsApp in too many places, and, you know, I don't know what's going on. But hopefully next week it's fine. But so waiting to hear back from both guests that we have scheduled for the third hour today. But anyway, the programming note that I wanted to share with you is next Saturday, 1 week from today, is July 4, Independence Day. I will be here live. I cleared it with the station manager, the big boss. Actually, I asked him a few months ago because we've been booking guests, you know, so far ahead, well into summer. He said, yeah, that's fine. You can come in. So I will be here because since we moved the show to Saturday, this is what I told him in the email I sent him. I said, you know, since we moved the show to Saturday, I have not missed a single Saturday. Even on holiday weekends, I've been here. But this is the first holiday weekend since we moved to Saturdays where the holiday itself actually falls on the Saturday. So usually there won't be anybody in the building on a holiday, and it's all the programming is you know, it's all pre-recorded, all automated and so forth. So, but I said, you know, I don't want to, just because it's a holiday, I still want to do my show. So he approved it. He said, that's fine. So I will be here. So there will be a show for anyone who's wondering. Yes, July 4th, there will still be a live Matt Connarton Unleashed. Not only that, but, and this I'm excited about, we've got a new single to premiere that day to commemorate July 4th. It is called We Beat the British from the band The Melted Chapsticks. We saw The Melted Chapsticks recently at the Spot in Nashua. Great band, Frankie Hollywood, the front man for the band. He also hosts a show on Wave Radio Boston, by the way, so he's a radio guy as well. But the Melted Chapsticks, great band. They've got a new song called We Beat the British, and you're going to hear it here next week on Matt Connarton Unleashed, our July 4th Independence Day edition of the show. Can't wait. I'll probably also, because it's sort of an unofficial tradition on the show, used to do it whenever we had a patriotic holiday when we were on weekday afternoons, because there was a time for many years we were on weekday afternoons here, Afternoon Drive. I would play also my personal favorite patriotic song of all time. And if you don't know, my favorite patriotic song, because I do consider, I know some people think, if you're a left winger, as I guess I am, that you're not patriotic, but I am. I love my country. My favorite patriotic song of all time is, of course, the classic. I'm sure some of you share the same thoughts. Yankee Rose by David Lee Roth. That's my favorite patriotic song of all time. And if you think it's not patriotic, listen to those lyrics. It's about as American as it gets. Yankee Rose by David Lee Roth in many ways. So we'll give that a spin too next week on the show. So anyway, so I say all that to say we will be here live on July 4th. Also, I'll just mention too, just a quick reminder, because I know we have some crossover in the audience. If you are a fan of the Tough Bumps podcast, the show that I do, that is not carried on WMNH. That is completely separate. It is strictly online. It is a podcast only. But if you are a fan of that show, we will be back Sunday night at 4 p.m. live, along with my friends Eric Pilcher and Austin Hicks. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus. I was off for a couple of weeks, but that is back. Tough Bumps is back. So fear not if you've been missing that. I think what we should do right now, I think we should play another Julia Greenberg song. Let's sneak one more in. We do have time. And then we're going to show some love to our amazing sponsors who help pay the bills around here. And we are so grateful to have the sponsors and advertisers that support WMNH 95.3 FM, this great station. And then in the third hour, again, a little bit of an adventure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. We have two guests booked, but they both wanted to use WhatsApp. That was their platform of choice to connect with the show. And WhatsApp they have suspended my account. So I did email them both. It worked out with Julia. She was willing to join us on the studio line. And, hang on a second. I think one of our guests is joining us very early.
Hi.
Hey, is this Rob?
Yeah, what's up, Matt?
Hey, you have joined the show very early, but we can actually talk to you now. So I get. So,
it was funny because I was panicking there a little bit because Steve was on the phone with me and he's like, and I got the guys in the band. They're like, "Yo, there's something wrong with the WhatsApp." I'm like, "What?" I said, "Well, let me just try this number," because Steve sent it over, and I was like, "All right," and then bam, here I am. Hello, everybody.
Hey, well, you are early, but that's okay. We can talk now. Of course, you're from the band Despyre. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are.
So
Despyre out of Long Island, New York.
Yeah. No, and thank you for being flexible. Yeah, I was saying on the show a few minutes ago, all the guests that I had booked on the show today all chose WhatsApp. Every single one chose WhatsApp as their platform of choice, and then WhatsApp suspends my account at the same time that I have multiple guests booked using WhatsApp. What are the odds? But I'm glad you're here. We are live. We are live on the air. We can go ahead. Do you want me to play the single and then we'll talk, or do you want to just talk?
Yeah, we could go ahead and do that if you want. We could play the single "Faithless." That's out right now. And then after they hear the song, if you want, we could talk about whatever you want. Explain it and go from there.
Let's do that. So we'll go ahead and spin this track, Faithless, from Despyre, and we have Rob from Despyre on the line with us. So, yeah, Rob, if you don't mind hanging on the line, we'll play the single, we'll come back and talk about it, and then at the end of our conversation, we'll play another track from you guys that I have queued up as well. But so if you are just joining us, we have Rob from Despyre on the line with us. Rob, please hang on. We're going to hit this track, and then we'll come back and talk with you. Sound good?
You got it, Matt. Thank you.
All right, awesome. All right, everybody, here it is. The band is Despyre. The track is called Faithless. This is really good. Check this out. As I like to say, if that doesn't get you moving, check your pulse. You might be dead. That is so good. That is Faithless. The band is Despyre, and we've got Rob, the vocalist from Despyre, here on the line with us. Rob, how do you say your last name, by the way?
Melvagno. Well, that's the Americanized way. In Italy, the G is silent. Melvagno.
Oh, Melvagno. Okay, all right, very good, very good. By the way, is it just you, or do you have any of your bandmates with you, or are we just talking to you right now?
No, it's just me right now. They're all listening on the link.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah. Welcome to the show. Like I said, I love that track. And is this so? The name Despyre? Is that a combination of despair and inspire? Is that correct?
Yes, it is. We wanted to take the two emotions of the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs, and kind of put it together and come up with that made up name there. But because everybody goes through that. And that's kind of what leads you to either be successful or, to deal with your problems in life.
Right.
So we wanted to take those two emotions and combine them.
Right. No, that makes sense. And you guys have been together since 2015, is that right?
Yep.
So 11
years. Yeah. We've played with each other before this. We've all been very good friends in the industry, and we've played in formations of other bands, and then we happened to get together and start jamming and writing some music. And one of our earlier songs, which is on our first EP, Black, the song is got in the hands of Joey Z from Life of Agony, who reached out and said, I like this. What are you guys doing? I'd love to record some of your new stuff, and hence that's what led to our first EP, Irritation, which Joey Z from Life of Agony produced, which inevitably got us signed to Pavement Records. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, connecting with Joey Z, that's you guys got off to a great start early on. That's amazing. Life of Agony, of course, such a great band. But that's so cool. I mean, you probably learned a lot from him, I would imagine.
Yeah, what was great was, I was a Life of Agony fan, before that, and I learned a lot from him, not only in the studio, but just in general, in life itself. He's a very down-to-earth guy. We became friends. So it was a big eye-opener on how things are done in the industry and how he brought out, certain aspects of the band and recording. We just worked well together.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now tell us about, present day Faithless. I know that's the newest, that came out pretty recently, right? The new single, Faithless.
Yeah. We aren't with Pavement any longer.
Okay.
Things happened in 2020 with COVID. The band itself went through a lot of changes and unfortunate deaths. Our first drummer passed away, and then family members, mothers, fathers, after COVID. And then I had a health scare. I was diagnosed with cancer, went through my treatments, and in this process, a drummer that was with us, we had about 7 songs that we had written. So Griffin went in the studio, recorded the drums, because we knew that we were going to be coming back out. Mm-hmm. Once I got the clear and okay, we started recording some songs, and it was time to release them. And now we have big news coming up in the upcoming weeks. We have some offers on the table that we will be announcing shortly for these upcoming singles that will be released. Oh, excellent.
As far as the cancer, I mean, are you free and clear now? You clear of it?
Yeah, right now I reached 100% remission.
Good.
So things are looking good, and it just made me stronger as a person and to move forward, and do what I love.
Yeah. Oh, that's good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Wow. Yeah. And you guys have been through a lot. I mean, obviously, it's interesting how COVID, even now in 2026, it comes up in a lot of conversations on the show because it just affected so many people. And when your whole thing is, especially if you're playing live music, it really affected
and that's
everything.
Exactly. That's kind of what happened. The momentum of the band was really going well, and the world stopped.
Yeah.
And we're not Metallica, you know what I mean? So it's like starting over again.
Absolutely. Especially where you are too, because you're in New York and man, I mean, New York City really got hit hard. I mean, that was really, for a while, that was kind of the epicenter in the country for COVID-19. It just awful. Are you guys, everybody who's in the band now, are you all from New York?
Yeah, we're all from Long Island, New York.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we've been brothers forever. You know, it feels like, you know, it's like having another marriage, but we're all great friends. You know, we're all within, you know, a half hour of each other.
Yeah.
A couple of the guys live